kuna watu walichaguliwa kama, jina langu naitwa David Irungu Mwangi. Mimi ni mkurugenzi katika kampuni ya majani chai ya Gasharage Tea Factory. Nasema hii uchaguzi ilifanyika Saturday, haikufuata ile sheria ambayo imewekwa. Kuna wenye walichaguliwa kama madirectors na wako kwa ile implementation committee. Hiyo ni kuonyesha kwamba kuna conflict of interest ambayo sisi tunapiga kabisa. Kwa hivyo tunasema hiyo uchaguzi si halali na tunaomba uchaguzi ile mzuri ipangwe na sisi tutakubali. Nyakera anataka kiti ya governor. Nyakera huyu anapigania hizi reforms katika sekta hii ya majani. Ako na interest, anataka hii kiti ya governor ya Murang'a. Hata ukienda pale karibu na Thika utakuta billboard kubwa ambao amepigwa picha yake hapo na amepigwa na majani, picha ya tea leaves. Kwa hivyo ako na interest ingine, anataka kwa hii sekta akanyage majani ndio apate hiyo kiti ya governor. Nyakera, mimi nakuuliza swali. Nyakera ingekuulia atiriri, ugaga we nduri macani, interest ile wina ya guteithia murimi ni iriku? Tondu twarona wega turona nduri na bata wa murimi. We urenda gukinyanga murimi nigetha ukinyire kiria urenda ta giti kia governor. Koguo arimi ni mamenyete uri urenda na ni mareganite nawe piu.
Now, the purported elections, which were carried out on 20th March 2021, we want to say they were illegitimate and are not backed by either the company articles or the company law. Tea factories, our tea factories, are registered under the company law and owned by individual tea farmers in our respective areas. Some of our factories are as old as 40 to 50 years, while the youngest is about 20 years. Farmers are both the suppliers of leaf and shareholders of the factory companies. We directors are all farmers affiliated to our respective factories here, the 10 factories, and are elected by the shareholders as directors in the respective companies. And every year, elections are held where 2 electoral areas go on rotation. A rotation means every 3 years an area must have elections as per the company's articles of association and the law. So in 3 years, all directors are subjected to the electoral process. The electoral process that we use has been subjected and passed the legal test, with the courts confirming that the process carried out is above board and legitimate. The High Court judgment in February 2020 that affected directors, elections and other decisions across country have affirmed the existing process that put us in the office. Some of the people that have been fronted to try taking over our positions have themselves been barred by court from holding office of director and are fronting themselves in total disregard to the court decisions. Some are the ones currently in court and others lost in the February 2020 court case. In September 2020, it is the CS that tried to stop our elections in the Nairobi court and he lost. Then he went to Mombasa and filed another case and stopped the elections. We would have held them as we always do in November 2020. But now he says we have never held election and he is the one who has tied our hands behind our backs. The event of Saturday, 20th March 2021 is trying to take us back to Morogo system, which we left over 13 years ago. It is taking us back to the dark old days. As we as the tea factory directors, representing all shareholders in Murang'a County, categorically state that we are legitimately in office And we will always defend the tea factories from attempts to take them down the road of destruction. His Excellency had asked the tea board to come up with regulations so that we can have regulations to guide us all directions. As we start, though the Tea Act was passed and the tea board was allowed to be formed, it has never been established. And we as the directors were expecting that the tea board would be established so that it could come up with the regulations to guide us in that. It has not happened. Now the people guiding that are interested parties who were interested in politics and others who own.
And I want to say the elections which were held at Kanyaine were held by 150 people. 150 people who are on the ground, and we have a proof of that. And I want to say this, Kanyaine factory has 10,000 farmers. So you can imagine 150 people choosing or selecting people to come and represent Kanyaine factory in that particular forum. All right? They were being guarded by heavy security. That means that they are ready to do anything with respect with others. They do not care about the rule of law. But we are telling them, they have no mandate.
Let me tell you, there is no tea board of Kenya. It has not been constituted, because once it's constituted, even we as Govt here, we have a representative, and the small scale farmers, we have a representative, and this is why we have got big trust in the tea board, because we know the laws and regulations you come up with will be fair to everybody when they sit together with the government officials. But we have tried very much to have a dialogue with the CS, but he is not available. We have tried so much to have a dialogue with him, but he is not available. He has not accepted to sit down with us, because furthermore, at the end of the day, what we want is our farmers to benefit. Because why we have been fighting for the tea board of Kenya to be established is to help us in the marketing of our tea, because that is the biggest bottleneck we have. There are so many countries who don't consume our tea, and here we are just talking about how the directors have taken this, have taken that. And let me tell you, the directors are very keen people. We are, all our figures are in black and white, and they are available to everybody, and anybody who dare call us that again, let me tell you, we end up somewhere in court, because he should be able to prove that we have taken farmers' money. Even a single cent we don't take. And I tell you, what we are after is a tea board being established as soon as possible, so that it can establish the regulations and help us marketing. And also, not only that, we also want the government to feed to fund the tea board, because in marketing it requires a lot of money. Yeah? And because they also fund other organizations like the tourism board and the others, we also want the government to chip in. But they should not be coming here to look at the things, small things we are doing. And when we know the biggest, the biggest consumer of our profit is the lack of market. Yeah? Right now, as we talk, Govt we produce about 20 million kilos the other year. This year we produce almost 40 million. Where do you think that all that tea is going to, when we don't continue with marketing? Of course, the prices will fall because the market is saturated. But when you are blamed that you are the one who ate 10 million kilos, where did you take that money? We want the government to come up and help us instead of blaming us. And as I said, we want to have a dialogue with CS Munya. But he has never had any chance for us. He is only having a chance with the people who are campaigning for Murang'a County, people who want to use tea to climb to be governor. And we are telling him we will not support him, because he wants to destroy the tea, and as he climb up, we will not support somebody like that. Well, let me tell you, if someone decided to defy the court, what can we do now? We don't have powers. They are supposed to serve us. If somebody wants a special general meeting, he is supposed to write us as directors. Please call a special AGM. They never did that. Which articles are they? And that is what the article says. If we refuse, that's the time when they can call a meeting. Which articles did they use? If they did not even contact us. Let me tell you, Nyakera doesn't have tea, and I don't know why he is interfering with the tea. He is only after gaining his seat. When he has gotten his seat, he doesn't care where the tea farmer will go. And that is why we really hate any person who is doing that. Even these regulations, we are not opposed to anything which can help the farmer. If only our shareholders here can be allowed to come and sit down and negotiate and pass anything which will help the farmer. We are not opposed to anything. Even those regulations, if I'm removed from the office fairly, I will definitely go out. But now, my farmers look up on me to safeguard their property. And that is exactly what I'm doing.
Could there be anybody